It's down to me and you in this cold and empty room, forgotten what we're dying for. Just tell me what to change, just tell me what to say, 'cause I can't feel it anymore.
So guns and mass murders have obviously affected many people. There's been mass shootings and there's an obvious issue that needs to be addressed, but we personally don't believe that regulating the guns completely is the right option.
The reason we have the Second Amendment, the most important reason we have the Second Amendment, comes out of our constitutional history within the Revolutionary period. When you know the story of Paul Revere riding through the countryside yelling, "The British are coming, the British are coming." What is he talking about? Well, he's talking about the fact that the British are coming to seize the arms of Boston and the local communities, to seize their weapons and their store of armory. One of the reasons we put the Second Amendment in there is, and this is kind of the scary part for the government, if you will, is the purpose is not to protect ourselves from bears or from other criminals or anything like that. It's to protect ourselves from the government, to be able to shoot government officials if they ever become too overbearing and to become a threat to our liberty that we've won under the Revolutionary War, and then of course through our Constitution and our Bill of Rights. And that's why they enshrine that in the Second Amendment, to say we have a right to protect ourselves. Now,
it's not the guns; it's the people behind the weapons. So. And because if kids brought the guns in the 50s and 60s to shoot trap on a trap team, and people had guns in their cars in the parking lots, when I went to school in Colorado in the 70s, people always had guns in their cars. They had rifles and shotguns in the back of the windows of their pickup trucks. Nobody thought twice about it. When President Ford came to speak at our school, the Secret Service went crazy because there are all these weapons, and they said, "You can't do this." They go, "Well, why not? They're not gonna shoot at them." See, so it's not the gun; it's the people that pick the gun up.
The Second Amendment states that a well-regulated militia has the right to keep and bear arms for the purpose of safety, and that right cannot be infringed. Now, we believe that doing too many regulations on our firearms is detrimental to that Second Amendment and is very unconstitutional to the American people. For example, in Chicago versus McDonald, the court actually shot down a complete ban on handguns. The Chicago was saying you can't have any type of handguns at all, and the state government came in and said that's completely unconstitutional. People have a right to have handguns and have a right to own these handguns. Not an unlimited right, but a right to own them, and you can't completely ban them.
I'm not against people owning guns. For most of my life, I own guns. However, I don't understand the manufacturing and selling of automatic weapons. As a principle, gun control, you need only look at the events that have taken place this year in our country. Speaking to one, the events in Newtown, Connecticut, kind of shows you that we need to have a zero tolerance. We cannot lax and think these things won't happen here, because they can happen anywhere. They can happen at a small town elementary school where 26 first graders can die. That's an issue we have to take very seriously. We here at King are actually looking at our fence lines and some of the things in the security that we have on this campus to try to better secure. The unfortunate part is when people are carrying automatic weapons, there's only so much even a fence is going to do.
Whether we're regulating guns or not, regardless, criminals are still going to get these guns, and the real issue that I think anyone can really agree on is that it's the crazy killers that are using these guns illegally, that are getting these guns illegally, and we need to figure out a way to stop these killers, not regulate the guns that they're using.
And what do you guys think about all these school shootings that have been happening, you know, at Sandy Hook Elementary and things like that, where these guns that at the time were illegal, these people were using to do all these mass murders, and how do you guys feel about that?
It just proves that they were already illegal, and the fact that they're so illegal did not stop the criminal from using these weapons and doing these mass shootings.
Okay.
Yeah. Like we said before, if they're gonna use it, they're gonna use it. It's not the gun, it's the psychotic person who has like the will to want to kill people.
So your position is not that it's obviously bad for criminals to have weapons, but your position is that they're going to get the weapons whether the government is telling them they can or cannot.
Yeah, regardless, they're going to do what they need to do to get the gun because they want it for a specific
and
purpose.
some regulation is okay. I mean, I understand that some people want to use their guns for self-defense, for hunting, but using like assault weapons, I don't know any hunter that needs an assault weapon.
They don't need like a
I think that
assault rifle. Like you don't need
these crazy weapons that are produced now in our modern society is pretty much needed to be used just for military use.
And then it's this idea of, hey, well, doesn't that make you mad that someone is trying to regulate my weapon, my ownership, right? Well, you are regulated every day of your life. You're regulated. You cannot go buy alcohol until you're 21. That's a regulation, right? You cannot buy cigarettes until you're 18. That's a regulation. So this idea is, hey, we need controls in order to control this problem. You know, I have no idea why anyone needs a clip that holds 20 bullets. I have absolutely no idea. I honestly, to be honest with you, I don't know why anyone needs a stub-nose shotgun. I don't know why anyone needs an AK-47. It just, you know, that to me blows my mind. What's the rationale behind that? You know.
Do you believe that they're justified in their actions of producing bans on ammunition?
Absolutely not. I think it's absolutely ludicrous that they do that. You know, through our country's history, and our enemies have said so, and not so many words, that the reason they haven't invaded our soil is because they were afraid behind every bush and tree there'd be an American citizen, you know, toting a firearm or having a rifle or a shotgun. So I think it's weakened our country. I think that America is not the same place it used to be that I grew up in. You know, and it's scary now. The world is a lot scarier place. And I think that any ban on any weapon for a law-abiding citizen is absolutely insanity. And our forefathers are probably rolling over in their graves, you know, with the stuff that's going on now. You know, and especially in California, Illinois, and New York.
I think criminals are going to get guns if they want to get guns, and so I don't see these laws making much of a change there.
Yeah, we can make laws against having too much ammunition. People can make their own ammunition, though. The problem here is not that people are going to not obey the laws under gun control or any kind of gun control that we have. It's that the people who wouldn't obey the laws to begin with aren't going to obey the laws anyway. So we have enough laws on guns as far as I'm concerned. I don't think that you necessarily need to make more laws dealing with guns.
Illegal guns are being produced with tracking numbers, and criminals are getting their hands on guns without tracking numbers through the black market. And then criminals, it's hard for them, for us to catch them because they're using guns without tracking numbers. So
it's making it a lot more difficult for us to catch them, and it's obvious that they're going to be using these for purposes that are not lawful, unlike the legal citizen and the law-abiding citizen that is buying these guns with the tracking numbers and using them for the lawful purposes.
That I don't think the problem in America are gun holders that follow the law. They're not the problem. The problem is these other people who are not following regulations, right? So how do we, as a society, control that? That's a good question. How to control this aspect that will get the weapon no matter what.
Having a plan to secure students in areas and staff as well, so that they're safe until help arrives is the safest answer in my opinion.
I think, first of all, that our country's changed so much. Back in the 50s and 60s, a lot of high schools, you were allowed to bring guns to school. People can bring rifles to school. They had trap shooting teams in high schools. So we've just changed as a society.
People always say, well, you know, we don't want guns just roaming around campus. And I said, well, why not? If you knew, if you were planning on doing a school shooting, you were planning on shooting up a bunch of your fellow classmates, and you know that there are guns on campus that an administrator will shoot you if he sees you with the gun, do you think twice about that? Do you question it?
I mean, maybe how easy would it be to maybe have like a doctor or a person that specializes in this on site, and when you're going to buy a gun, you have to be evaluated by that person.
Okay.
Someone who's an expert that talks to the person, really gets a feel for whether they're mentally healthy or not.
No, I can
I don't
see
see a problem with that. That's another.